Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Hey, everybody. Seems like it's been forever, doesn't it? What's it been? 2 weeks since we've had a live? I know the last one was a pre-recorded. And this is why I don't bring the carpet python out very often. Because he's just got so much damn energy. He wants to go all over the place. Here, say hi to everybody. Smile. Smile or something. There you go. He has been so full of himself ever since I got him out today. Oh, let's see. I got to put up the USARK banner. There. That's up. Actually, all right, you're going to go into the tub pretty soon if you don't like chillax or something. Oh, so yeah, it was running around like a chicken with my head cut off most of the day today. I work a weekend maybe once or twice a year, and today I was the only one who could adjust my schedule in order to cover the crews that were working today. So, yeah, I just got done with them a couple hours ago, and I had to make a quick trip down to the lake to test some camera equipment because we've actually got a trip coming up tomorrow out towards the coast of North Carolina, out to a exotic and endangered bird sanctuary. Sylvan is the name of it. You can look it up online. It's really seems like a really cool place. So I may end up putting out a video on everything that we see out there. I keep seeing some of these people posting pictures of bald eagles and stuff like that, and I just can't find any, so I'm going to go someplace where they've got some. But it should be pretty interesting. They've got stuff from all over the world out there, all kinds of really unique stuff. And another weekend here coming up too, there's actually like a safari park up in Virginia that I'm gonna hit. They've got rhinoceros, tigers, things like that out there. Another thing, it's one good thing about this whole photography thing is it really gets you motivated to get out and find new stuff. So and it's coming along pretty good. You're gonna go in the tub, I'm telling you. Get up here, man. Well, let's see who all is on. Gerald, good to see ya. Tara, made it. Sam is with us. Erica, I know it seems like it's been forever since we've hung out. And Nicole, good to see you. Dennis is with us. Yes, it has. It's been 2 weeks. That's one thing about this, man, is it does, doing these live streams every Saturday and the Zoom calls right after that, it does kind of make it difficult to go and do stuff on the weekends when we got a full-time job. So at times, as more things start happening, kind of pay attention. I'll, on the weekends that I'm not able to actually be here to do the live streams, or I'm not in a position where I can do it over the phone or something like that, then we'll do something pre-recorded. I do like to keep up this consistency of at least having something. So, hey, how are you doing? Charles Doyle, good to see ya. Oh, thanks. This is another one, of course, that I took in from somebody who couldn't take care of him anymore. I don't remember whether they were moving and couldn't take him or what it was. But oddly enough, this was the only reptile that they had. And, the kids used to interact with it and everything. Carpet pythons get kind of a bad rap, I guess. I've had people over before and brought him out. And, they were perfectly fine handling the 14, 16-foot retic, but you bring a little carpet python out, it's like, I'm going to get bit. This guy's a little reactive. He's a little speedy, but he's a perfect gentleman. So, yeah, and this one, my understanding is this is a jungle carpet python. The only thing that makes me wonder a little bit is jungles typically have a lot brighter colors. He's colored more like a coastal, but coastals are huge, and I've had this guy for years. So if he was a coastal, he would be much bigger than he is now. So we're going with jungle carpet. So yeah, Charles was saying he was graced a couple years ago on Christmas Day by a bald eagle about 30 feet above you. That's cool. I was that little bit of time that I was able to spend at the lake today. There's an osprey that hunts out there over this lake, and God, I was so disappointed I wasn't able to get the shot. But I caught him on the other side of the lake. I just see him cruising around, and then he comes right up over my head, and ended up losing him in the trees. It's kind of difficult when you got a 600 millimeter telephoto zoom and you're trying to find him up there in the sky. It's a lot easier the further away they are, but once they get close, if you're not right on them with that thing, it takes some work, takes some practice. But we're getting there. We're still getting some pretty decent shots. But, hey, Travis, good to see ya. Daniel Sharp, what's up? Carpet or Burmese for a pet? Good question. I guess that all depends on what size animal you want. Jungle carpets, you're looking at this size. You see them get a little bit bigger than this, but the coastals will get significantly bigger. But Burms, of course. My male Burmese is really manageable. He's only 12 to 13 feet, and he's every bit of 8 years old by now. So male Burms aren't bad. My little female Burm right here, they grow a bit slower than retics do. She's maybe, 3-4 years old right now, and she's maybe 5 feet, something like that. But so you've got time to get accustomed to working with a bigger snake if you get a younger Burmese, but just know that they can get big. They can, and they'll be a lot heavier than a retic per foot. They tend to be a lot thicker than retics are. I rephrase that. They tend to be somewhat thicker. Let's see. I just wonder if he's xanthic. Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. With all of the Dr. Frankenstein stuff that everybody's doing with mixing genetics and this morph and that morph, it's hard to tell. We're going to be creating new species here pretty soon, like mad. Be growing snakes with legs again. Dylan. Oh, hey, man. You said great job in that recent video about her owning a berm. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's this is I'm really kind of digging doing this series on the behavior, because I think it'll be cool when I get that series all finished, have that one playlist there where you can kind of go in and folks that are kind of newer to snakes can get a full understanding of how we read it, at least a more full understanding of how we read their behavior and stuff. There's a couple things I'm going to have some difficulty showing, like defensiveness. I don't have too many snakes that are defensive. I may end up having to use my female hognose, maybe catch her on a bad day and get that. I know the next video that's coming out is going to be on food response. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I've kind of put off the feeding day for the big snakes, and we're going to do that at some point this coming week. But it's really cool. I think I'm kind of hoping that all of my snakes do the same thing that they normally do when I feed. sometimes they'll just go ahead, they'll see it and they'll just go right after it. But a lot of times, most of them will really take their time and they wait and they make sure that they're getting the right thing before they strike. It's kind of cool to see. So, yeah, we've got a red-tailed hawk that comes and perches up on the shed back here at the house. If you've never seen the osprey close up, I've got a couple decent pictures on the Facebook page. For those of you guys, if you're not following me on Facebook and you like photography and nature and wildlife stuff, I've been spending a lot of time on that, and I put those pictures. Typically, every time I go out, I'll get 2, 3, 5, 6, decent pictures. I run them through Lightroom, put them all up on Facebook and stuff. And had started putting some up. I need to update it and put some more stuff up there. I've got the website, intrepidexotics.com, up and running. So I've still got to finish polishing some stuff up, communication stuff, some other things that I want to put up there. But I do have a section in there on wildlife photography, so you can go in there and see the pictures that I've uploaded there so far. I'm trying to get a good portfolio put together and learning at the same time. So get out of the coffee. That is the last thing you need right now. Hey, never made it. Good to see ya. I can almost see. I had to stay home this weekend because of work and this trip, so I didn't make it out to the zoo, which kind of sucks because there's been a couple new additions out there, and there's been the little silver fox that was healing up from the neck injury. The little runt of the litter has gotten her own little spot out there to run around now, so it should be fine. We'll make it next weekend though. Our bow is stronger than pythons. That is, I believe so. I think pound for pound boas are stronger. My boa imperator in there, I know he is a damn brute. He's not that big. He might be 7 feet standing on his tippy toes, but man, when he gets a hold of you, you got a snake around you. Yeah, Tara makes a good point too. You can see how distracting it is trying to keep this little carpet right here, because he's just all over the place and wants to run around. These guys are pretty high energy, kind of semi-arboreal-ish. They love to climb. He's got a lot of space, a lot of vertical space in his enclosure. Likes to perch. He's perched 99% of the time. I very rarely do I ever see him hiding out on the bottom of the enclosure or anything. So yeah, he's a pretty high-energy fella. But Burms, finishing my thought there. See, I'm all out of practice, man. But yeah, Burms tend to be a lot more laid back as they get older. If I was to bring Athena, my little female Burm, out, you're just bound and determined to get into that coffee, ain't you? Let me pull her back. Get back. Come on. Hang out in the tub. I know. You're going to be mad at me. I think that'll be enough to hold him. Okay. Now I can kind of focus on what I'm doing again. I probably shouldn't be going nuts on the coffee tonight because I do have to get to bed early. I'm going to be leaving here at between 5 and 6 in the morning to get out to the facility early in the morning. Let's see, where are we at? That's awesome. Tara was saying the animal behavior stuff was her favorite information, especially when it's current. Yeah, that's, and for those of you guys that don't know, I mean, we're pushing like 200 to 300. I think we're over 300 uploads on the channel now. And once you get that much stuff on there, it gets really difficult. I can't even look through there. Like if I'm in a Facebook group or something, and I see somebody jump up with a question, and I'll be like, man, I know I made a video about that, and I can't even find them. So it'll be good to have these playlists all put together where it's kind of obvious where everything's at. And there's always the other stuff that folks can binge on too. Which I strongly encourage, because I know it's all kind of stream of consciousness when I'm working with these guys on this different stuff and explaining it. But if you've got the time to binge it, I try and throw in as much stuff as I can. Let's see. Hey, Betty and Greg. Good to see you, man. Long time no see. You guys got a break from the Ren festivals, huh? And yes, yeah, everything. Facebook, Instagram, it's all under Intrepid Exotics. You can also find the links. If you go to the homepage, there should be a link for the Facebook and the Instagram there on the homepage of the YouTube channel. Which reminds me, I need to put the website on there too. As soon as I get time to polish that thing up, I think that's going to be a pretty good resource. Gonna put, I don't know. You guys come up with anything that you think would be a good idea to have on the website, feel free to throw it out there, because as I go, I can just continually keep adding pages to it, putting information on it and so forth. So. Tara had a baby that is just about as bad as Bob, huh? Poor thing. Hey Chase, how you doing, man? EW, good to see you. Oh, cool. It's gonna be cool. I really need to get up and see my daughter at some point. She's up in Indiana. Hey Mike, how are you doing, man? It's been busy as usual. Never seems to slow down a whole lot. Jar Jar, good to see ya. I've been good, man. It's business as usual. Like I said, it's just we had a little brief hiccup there when I executed my little purge of some of the extremists that were hanging around on my social media and stuff that I didn't want to see anymore. But since then, things have started moving forward again. But yeah, other than that, man, it's all been work and taking care of the animals. I tell you what, I went downstairs to the reptile room when I went down to get Snoop here, and Niles was sitting up there, and as soon as he seen me, man, he just popped his head up. It's so funny because he's getting to the point where he's starting to enjoy interacting. I need to make some more videos with him. I mean, he's running right up to the door, and today he started climbing out the door, wanting to climb up on top of me and all that. Just as soon as I get the snake behavior stuff done, I need to start doing some stuff with him. And I also need to do an update video with the Tegu too, who is doing really well. He has gotten to the point where once I open up the door, he's not biting anymore. So we've got him calmed down quite a bit, and he's doing good. So maybe here pretty soon he'll be a puppy dog. Let's see. Tara was saying you may ask for help on FaceTime or so. Yeah, man, by all means. For those of you guys that don't know, if you're really having issues with an animal, with a snake specifically, if you're really just, it seems it's always striking at you every time you're trying to handle it or something, There are times when we've got time where we'll do video chats with folks. And it gives me an opportunity to, whoever's going to be working with the snake, somebody else will be holding the phone, so that I can kind of see in real time the behaviors of the animal and maybe give pointers and stuff like that on techniques you can be using to get past defensive behaviors and get them calmed down, get them comfortable and stuff like that. We've done several of them, and they've all been pretty successful so far. So I always enjoy doing that stuff. It's another one of those things too. There's a couple videos. Again, I guess I should put these in a playlist as well. But there's a couple videos of some of those that we did, and it's cool. If somebody needs that help with kind of observing and giving pointers and stuff, we can do it and record it and make an episode of it, or do it and not record it. I leave it entirely up to whoever is to whoever I'm talking with. I don't. It's not a requirement. You don't have to. You're not definitely going to be put out on YouTube or something like that if we're doing a video chat. Entirely up to the person that's doing it. But some people do, some people don't. But hey, Chris, long time no see, man. We're doing good. We're hanging in there. Hey, Timothy, good to see ya. Bert, howdy. Let's see. How are yellow anacondas? Yellow anacondas have got a bad reputation. I got to keep checking the handle's broken on that tub, so I don't want him getting out and disappearing into my office. Yeah, yellow anacondas are. I would recommend those for somebody that's got a little bit more experience handling. They can get kind of nasty. Had a couple of good videos that I've saved of some yellows putting up quite a fight. Tough question. Gumbo fan? Of course. If you're talking about like shrimp gumbo, stuff like that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's another thing. You'll hear that green anacondas can be kind of tricky too, but Greg's got a green anaconda that's really chilled out. And that's another thing too, man. I mean, certain snakes will have certain reputations, just like you can see with Snoop back here. Carpets have got a tendency for being a little bit nippy and all that, but he's perfectly fine. I mean, species may have a little bit to do with it, but it's really all about how they've been handled and how they've been raised. You raise them right. If they're comfortable and they trust you, then I think you're good. Where's the coon thing that I hadn't on him? You must be talking about the Cotamundi, maybe. That's out at the zoo. There's a Airbnb and petting zoo, essentially, out west that a good friend of mine runs, and there's Cotamundis and all kinds of stuff running around out there. So that's where that was at. When you see those, the only mammals that I've got here, I've got the prairie dogs, hedgehog, some rats. So anything you see over and above that is going to be somewhere else. So just like the emus and stuff like that. No, you want false water cobras are cool. That's on my short list when I get space. Let's see, yeah. You say you're trying to choose between a dwarf retic, a carpet, a Burmese, or an anaconda. Well, just pick one to start with, because eventually you're going to have all of them. Ask any of us. Like Lay's potato chips, you just can't have just one. Oh, hey, man. Happy belated birthday. I quit having birthdays. I don't want those anymore. I rolled 51. And I've got to stop at some point or else I'm going to start really getting old for real. Let's see. All right. I think and I made it all the way. Made it all the way to the end. Got caught up on all of those. Awesome. Yeah, dwarf retics and berms are both really good starter snakes if you're committed to dealing with a larger animal. So yeah, and this is something that you'll hear people all the time. Everybody's got a different opinion about what the best starter snake is, and it really depends on the person, man. One of my first videos that I did was with a lady in California who went into a pet shop, and now granted, she keeps horses and zebra and camels and all that stuff, so she's no stranger to animals. But the very first snake that she touched was a mainland reticulated python. Very first snake she ever touched in her life, and the store owner convinced her to get it. So she got it, and she's been doing awesome with the animal, man, and just growing with it, doing really well. And of course, adding others to the collection too. So, I mean, you can start with any snake. You just need to know that, if you're starting with a ball python, it's going to take less effort than if you're starting with a snake that gets over, 8, 10, 12 feet long. You just got to be committed to making sure that by the time they get that big, you get the experience that you need and the knowledge that you need to handle them safe and all that other cool stuff. But, I mean, yeah, dwarf retics are freaking awesome. I would venture to say that a true dwarf reticulated python, true super dwarf, is probably the perfect pet snake, because you get that same intelligence and interactivity that you get with mainlands, except you're looking at a 12-foot snake max most of the time. Yeah, and Greg makes another good point that it's better to get a baby and kind of grow up together with them. That does help quite a bit. You'll know if you get a berm baby, you've got a lot more time than if you get like a mainland retic baby or something like that. Because just like the video that I put out on Facebook the other day, man, it blows my mind how quickly my female retic has outgrown my male. So she's getting to be a big girl now. I weighed her on an empty stomach after she destroyed her cage, and she's at 80 pounds now. So, but an 80-pound snake feels like 150 pounds of anything else. Yeah, and I mean, DW is saying he doesn't think there's anything like a starter animal, because you got to be able to commit to whatever and do your research on whatever you get. And that's why I can't really, if somebody's really interested in big snakes and you tell them, okay, well, if you've never owned snakes before, get a ball python. A ball python is not a big snake, so it's not going to hold their interest, and the snake's really not going to get a whole lot of attention probably. They might get it, and it's going to be so easy. They'll develop a bunch of bad habits and then get the retic and be surprised. So let's see. Yeah, and Tim kind of reiterated that too. The best starter snake is the one you're really interested in. If you're really interested in boas or big pythons, whatever, or boreal snakes, if that's what you're really interested in, then that's the place to start. yeah, you're definitely going to be more passionate about the research that you do. And I think you'll take it a lot more seriously too if you get a big constrictor as a baby. Um, you'll definitely take it seriously, especially by the time they start getting a little bit bigger. Right. Yeah, anacondas are slow growing, so you get one, you've got all the time in the world. You'd be a master snake handler um, by the time that thing's big enough to really be a concern. Right? Tim was saying he was surprised when his anaconda weighed 45 pounds and he thought it was 80. That's the same way I was with mine. Like back when Monty was, you know, 14 feet, I picked her up and I was like, God, this is an 80-pound snake. Same thing. She was like 40, 50 pounds. So. Let's see. Okay, cool. I am all caught up on the chats. That's pretty awesome. So we've got to, and I've seen a couple new names in here. So I know there's a couple folks that are either fairly new or have been quietly sitting and watching for a while. But USARK. Got to pull this up as we do every Friday. Actually, with that last video that I made, I remembered that I forgot to put the USARK thing up there because I typically put that in all my videos too. So, yeah, you see Chloe back there? Yeah, she needs to come out. She's all full of it. She just shed a few days ago. She shed like the day before I made that video with her sleeping. But yeah, so for those of you guys that are new and you're not familiar with USARK, USARK.org, go here. This is the organization that goes through and finds bad reptile laws throughout the country in legislation that special interest groups and, you know, these animal rights, fake animal rights groups, I guess is what you could call them, try to implement these bans. And USARK does all the work of going through, finding them, and posting alerts on the website that tells you what we need to do about it. So if we've got to generate a bunch of letters down to FWC, state legislature, stuff like that, letters, phone calls, whatever the case may be, there is, let's see, maybe there's, I'm going to look for one really quick where they've got the, I think there was right here. They've got some sample letters that they'll put in here, if that's something that we're doing. It's another thing that they'll do too. You know, they'll put out updates and so forth, but if there's meetings, then they'll list those stuff where people, you know, where we would benefit from a lot of us being down there making noise. Yeah, and they'll give you sample letters just like this, where, you know, they've got somebody that writes out the details of whatever it is that we're dealing with and puts it out there. So that way, all you've really got to do is copy this, paste it in your email, and send it out. So, but anyway, I mean, these guys have had, USARK's had a lot of big wins this year. There was 5 of them right off the bat that hit us this year, and they managed to squash all 5 of them, including a ban of all iguanas in Florida, which I thought for sure was going to go through. But also, too, in addition to this, and I don't mention this enough, I really need to start putting this into all of them, because there's USARK National and then there's USARK Florida. Those are the 2 main USARKs. Here is, okay, I've got to change screens. Here. So that's USARK Florida. So those are the 2 USARKs that most of us, I think, support. I've got my membership on both of them. Florida, of course, I mean, because of the ecosystem down there, they spearhead a lot of legislation that, Georgia and Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, all this stuff just kind of creeps up. Something passes down there, these guys may start thinking it's a good idea to pass it up here. So USARK Florida, definitely a really good organization. Same type thing. You can get in, you can donate to them, but memberships really help. And it'll help getting participation from, all over the country on issues down in Florida. Those of you guys that remember that Holy Thursday massacre that happened down there when FWC went in and slaughtered that guy's collection and killed the gravid boa, that it was legal for him to have it. The pressure that was applied to Florida because of that event, and literally completely changed their train of thought. They changed directors, and they've been cooperating really well with reptile keepers and USARK Florida and stuff like that lately. So it does make a difference, and the support matters, and they're successful. So if you've got any animals of any kind, USARK is definitely a great organization to pour as much support into as you can. So, let's see. I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, Sam was saying he's seen Chloe. I guess I'm gonna have to get her out. Oh, cool. Smay had his first clutch of ball pythons the other day. Awesome. You have to keep everybody up to date when they start pipping. So, yeah, she does. I really need to clean her glass too. I meant to do it after I put out that last video because she's been like, anytime I'm sitting in here, man, she's on the glass. She wants to come out because she is spoiled. Come on. Come on. You got to come out and say hi to everybody now. And the snake is so funny, too. She, not only is she taking her sweet time coming out now. Come on, sweetie. I know you're all leisurely and stuff, but I'm going to get back over the computer. No. And she's getting longer, too. So, come on. There you go. Out you go. Out of the cage. All right. She's going to take her sweet time coming out tonight. Hanging on back there. Crazy thing. Yeah, she's a pretty active girl. It's kind of funny because I've got all those branches and stuff in there for her to climb on. So of all the snakes that I've got, man, her belly's never smooth. I mean, her scales are always really rough. Feels like she's trying to shed every time you pick her up because she just spent so much time crawling around on that tree bark. You're all full of energy. You're just happy to be alive, aren't you? She had a rough start, but she's doing good. I thought you were new to the channel. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Yes, she is. Yeah, for those of you guys that are new, this was my little rescue retic. She was in pretty bad shape when I got her. She's like the sweetest girl ever. And you're saying you're surprised iguanas didn't get banned after they banned the tegus. I kind of am too, but I mean, the thing about iguanas down in Florida is there's just banning them makes no sense. There's so many of them down there. Anybody wants one as a pet, all they got to do is open up their door. They're free roam. Yeah. Iguanas pretty much have earned their place in Florida now. Let's see. Asking how Lilith is. She's okay. She's doing good. She spends a lot of time resting. So try not to handle her a whole lot. She's still eating well and stuff like that, but I always feel so bad for her when I bring her out. For those of you guys that don't know, Lilith is the Jagpondro back there. She's green tree python, jaguar carpet hybrid, and she's got some neuro issues. So yeah, Chloe's. It's not going to be too much longer, and I'm going to have to take her out of that enclosure. Figure out who I'm going to put in it next. I think I may give that to the green tree python. Ramsey's back there. He might get that. He might get that enclosure when I've got to upgrade this girl. What do you think? You need to get your hand-me-downs? Yeah, it seems like she sheds every damn week. And she'll eat anything that I put in front of her. Every single time. Were I a sheriff before / pig? Okay, that's your freebie. My daughter's actually a police officer, and some of my really good friends are. So that's your one freebie. If that's you, keep that to yourself. Otherwise, I'll just remove you. Chloe. Okay. Ban user and delete their comments. Bye-bye. It's that easy. Yeah, for anybody that's new here. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the first person that I've banned and deleted off of here. That's the first person that came in here saying stupid shit. So, in however long it is that we've been doing this. So I think that was a pretty good record. Where are you going? And she does this all the time too. She comes out, hangs out for a little while, and she'll end up running around that chair and going back up in her own enclosure. So funny. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't play with stuff like that. Definitely don't. Like I said, man, my daughter's a cop. And if we're ever out and anybody ever says that to her, then I'll just make sure that she's not the one that gets in trouble for what I do to the dude. Yeah. Chloe's always into shenanigans. As a matter of fact, are you going home? I guess she is. It was really funny too, because the other day when I had the big snakes out, I let them out because I've got the enclosure for the Nile monitor down there, and I've got a door that I built that I can close down there and separate the Nile. I've got all that open space that I can let the other animals just get out and stretch their legs and whatnot. And it's so cool. They get in there, they run around for a little while, and I open up the door, and they'll get out and go back into their enclosure on their own, which is really awesome when you're talking about a heavy snake like that, because it saves my back in a big way. You going in, or are you going on the floor? Okay. She's going back in. I'll keep that up there so I can see when she's all the way in. I can close the door. Hey, Caesar. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let's see. So I can turn this off. I'm trying to think of anything else new that's going on. And not really a whole lot. Not really a whole lot at all. The behavior series coming up. I know a little while back we had talked about doing that video about Jay. I think I'm actually going to, instead of doing that whole big call out video type thing, I may just add segments of that into the video that I do on defensive behavior, defensive and aggressive retics, because that's what half of his stuff is. So I'll just show that as far as, this is what a scared snake looks like. I don't have any of mine over here that are gonna come at me. Even Tigger on his worst day, he only does like little half-ass strikes if he's really in breeding mode or something like that. So yeah, it's the funniest thing too, because like I'll sit in here with her and she'll run her nose along the door when I get out, and I'll open it up and she'll do the same thing as she's doing now, just hanging her head out just a little bit. I know you can't see it, but yeah, she just hangs her head out a little bit. It's the only bad thing about this really fast lens that I've got on here too is the bokeh in the background. It's everything out of focus. I'm going to see what Bob's doing. I know everybody loves to see Bob. He's been doing really good. Hey, bud. How you doing, man? Doing okay? Come out, say hi. Oh, put away. You're always trying to sound so tough. I know. He's putting on a little bit of size too. He's gotten a little bit bigger. Again, not growing near as fast as retics do. Come on, chill out. Get up there. Ah. A remarkable record. You must be talking about the first band person. So. Caesar saying he's really enjoying the series. Yeah, it's I'm hoping by the time that whole series is done, it should be a wealth of, I'm gonna try and put together as much stuff as I can, go into as much detail as I can. So hopefully folks find it useful. Somebody was asking, do I do any breeding or just keeping? Do I have any cool hobbies or interests we don't know about? Well, I don't do any breeding. I just keep. I've kind of my thing is I've got a lot of experience with a lot of really big snakes. Um, so that's where the handling and behavior stuff comes in. I thought about breeding, but I don't want the responsibility of breeding retics. Uh, they're I don't think there's enough people really ready for them when they get them. So, but yeah, I just do keeping, and the hobbies and stuff. I'm kind of a big nerd, so like I built the computer that I'm on now and all that stuff. And back when I had spare time, I'd get on. I was a gamer for a while, but don't have time anymore. And recently took up nature and wildlife photography, kind of as part of the channel here. Um, and I know I keep saying I'm going to get on and really start nailing in the video stuff, but I'm really actually having a lot of fun with the nature and wildlife photography. It's kind of challenging, especially when you're starting to get into birds and stuff like that. And the cool thing about it is, I mean, it doesn't cost anything except gas to go to wherever you're going. So it's really an awesome hobby to get into. You get over that initial investment on the equipment, which worked out because I've got the stuff that we use for the channel. So yeah, it all carries over. So yeah, that's actually been a lot of fun. Oh yeah, Bob. He was sweet when I got him. He just didn't want anybody to know. He puffed up a little bit. He just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that he'd bite if he wanted to, but he's been such a good boy. I can't even remember the last time he tried to bite me. Every time I go into his enclosure, he sticks his tongue out and holds it out at me and hisses and stuff like that, but it doesn't take long. He gets over it. The next big hurdle that I want to get over with him is I want to get him to the point where I open up the door and he'll just come out like Chloe does. He's not quite there yet. Let's see. You're rosy cheeked, man. Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about doing some architectural stuff, but see, this is the thing about doing architectural photography is there's always people around those buildings, and I don't particularly care for people, so I like it so much better just going out to the lake and waiting for birds to show up and fly by or do something cool. At some point, I think it'd be cool to do that. There is some pretty decent architecture to be seen around here if you know where to look. Been practicing with partners, big snakes. Well, don't feel bad, man. 130 pounds soaking wet. You can still do it. I've seen some pretty small folks manage some pretty big snakes. Oh yeah, definitely. May was saying nobody should get a monster snake with no experience. No, it's a really good way to get hurt. Really, and it's one of the things. And this came up in a conversation the other day too, and I say it all the time about retics being such a double-edged sword because they can be the easiest snakes in the world to manage, or they can be just a straight-up nightmare that people will be terrified to even interact with. I've seen a couple of them. And anytime the thought crossed my mind of having to interact with them, I puckered up a little bit, and I was like, okay, well, really good chance I'm going to get bit here, but what the hell? What you doing? Yeah, that's a That's something else that I need to start doing. Neva was saying, instead of just all the bird photography and stuff, doing some good photography of the snakes. Which I really need to start doing. But it's like I've always got my hands full when I mean, just like this. If I get the snake in my hand, there's never enough room for a camera in there. And it's kind of a bummer too, because some of my earlier stuff, there was a lot of pictures of them up in the trees and stuff. Well, the tree that was in the backyard died. The one that I used to let all the snakes run around in and stuff like that. And when I say died, I mean died. I didn't even use. I literally ripped the thing down with my bare hands and threw it over the ditch into the woods. It was so dead. So that was a bummer. I really liked that tree. That was the same one that Tigger climbed up in when he was about 13 feet long. And I had to jump up in the tree after him and try and wrestle him down. Yeah. I've got some pictures of Chloe. I went out and did some stuff. Lilith, I think she needs to get a lot more attention than she does. You're right. I do need to get them out this summer and just start getting some. Maybe I can. So I did take Snoop out not too long ago, and got some pictures of him climbing around up in the trees out in the woods. And I got some of the boa as well, Charlie. But yeah, I should probably start doing more of that. It's kind of one of the things that I was thinking too, because if you get to the point where you're so good with your camera that you can catch a bird in flight and make a really sharp, clear picture of it, then imagine how much easier it is with a snake. You're like that, right? Right. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Right there next to my eye. Those of you guys that know Bob know his history anyway. This is he's a good boy. Big strides of trust with this guy. Matter of fact, the first time I've been bitten on the face was by him on a live stream. And it was, of course, just like every other time, if you ever get bit, it's your fault. Because you can actually see it in the video where he was on my arm. I looked down at him. I could tell he was getting ready to strike at me. I was like, you better not bite me. As soon as I turn around, look back at the screen, pop, smack me right in the face. Yeah, Caesar was saying, yeah, I could believe gators are probably, I mean, because I know how strong Niles is. Niles is 6 feet long from the tip of his tail to his nose. And when he is intent on giving me a hug, it's really difficult to avoid. I mean, he's got inch and a half long claws on him, and an incredibly strong animal, man. And they're so deceptive too, because most of the time you go down there with Niles and he's just sombering around, being really slow. But man, if he's on point for food and you bring a dish in there for him, you find out how quick he can move. I made the mistake of going in there barefoot into his enclosure before and having to run out. Don't walk into your Nile enclosure barefoot. There's a really good likelihood you're going to get a toe bit off. Can Lilith swim? That's actually a good question. I mean, I've soaked her before, but I've never soaked her in water that would be something that she could swim through. Kind of curious if she can or not. For anybody that doesn't know who Lilith is, like I said, she's the Jagpondro with the neurological issues, and she's got some muscle tone issues and a little bit of equilibrium. Not 100% sure exactly what's going on. It appears to be neuro of some sort, but I mean, of course, snakes can swim, but with her specifically, I would be curious to see if she can with the muscle tone issues that she's got. So, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. It may actually be good for her to, I may try that. May get one of the bigger water bins and just sit there and put her down in there and see if she'll, see how she does. What are you doing? She's going to hang out right there, huh? If you get a wild hair up your ass and bite me in the nose or something, we're going to have to start back from square one. Oh, let's see. Hey, man, how you doing? Long time no see. I know I've been quasi out of the loop a little bit, but we're back. I see you guys are staying busy over there. Oh, let me see. Yeah, and for those of you guys that are newer to the channel, you see me just kind of looks like I'm staring off into space and not saying anything. I'm just trying to keep up with the comments and keep up with the conversation and all that. My nose must look delicious. And it's time for these guys to eat this weekend, so. But this really, I mean, this snake right here really makes me happy because his demeanor has changed so much. I'm really happy with how far he's come. Yeah, man, just let me know whenever you guys are looking for somebody to sit in. By all means, shoot me a message. If I'm available, then yeah, I'll definitely jump in. So. Caesar was saying he's heard the theory that snakes, especially retics, recognize their owners and act accordingly. Gators will come. I've seen some videos of some gators that are pretty freaking smart. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them. I've handled crocodilians a couple times, but I would love to. Maybe that's something we need to do. Maybe I need to come down there and make some gator videos. I think everybody would eat that up. So, of course, what are you doing? Are you like going into my shirt? No, there you go. This guy's getting to the point where he's comical anymore. Turn into a little jokester. Yeah, maybe that'll be the next thing that we need to do. We'll do the exotic and endangered bird stuff this weekend. Plan another weekend for the safari trip, safari in Virginia. But I mean, essentially, all it is kind of a bunch of farm animals, a couple of unique ones, and some rhinos and stuff, from what I've seen. But yeah, I really need to do some gator stuff. That would be fun. But yeah, retics definitely recognize their owners. Mine, they will react differently to me than they do other people. So, All right, man, don't work too hard. And then don't work too hard. My gym days are over. If I need to work out, I either throw on my camera bag and go hit a greenway somewhere, or I start handling my snakes. Yeah. Gator was saying, or Caesar was saying, it takes a lot of training and hands-on experience. I am quite certain it does, because I've seen a lot of people get in trouble thinking that they can handle a gator and being wrong. There's actually been a couple pretty funny videos out there of some guys. I know there's one where there's this guy on a highway bridge. What are you doing? Come on, bud. Come on. Don't get all tied up in there. Don't do it. Don't get all tied up in the chair. Come on. Give me my arm back. But yeah, there was this one of this guy. There was a gator up on a highway bridge, and he's like in its face trying to scare it or something like that, and the thing just gets a hold of his leg, and he was in much trouble. I have to put you back in a second. Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Good to see you. Better late than never. We'll wrap up in a little bit here. Okay. He's good for this, too. This is kind of a demonstration of why you don't let them around your neck no matter what size they are. Because, I mean, even this little guy, he's compressing that. You can probably see the color changing in my face. Come on. Let's stop that. This one is just a little baby. Imagine if that was an 8, 10, 18-foot retic. I'd be in trouble. Come on, bud. Stop choking me out. Yeah, this is that's one of the things, and I'm sure it's really similar handling the gators for you. That's one of the things that I've kind of got a hard time getting people over with big retics is just like you say, you've got to be deliberate. There's that line between confidence and caution. You've got to have both, but I mean the only way you can really get in and handle these guys and make the animal comfortable is to just be really decisive and deliberate, like you said. If you're afraid of them, keep poking them with the hook and poking them with the hook. Yeah, you're just gonna make them mad. I've got a couple good videos that I've seen that I'll put together for that aggressive / defensive video in the handling series. I don't think you can. I don't think you can call my mother. She went in. I think she's going in to have surgery done on one of her eyes here at some point soon. And I was supposed to be within like the next couple days or so. What are you doing? What are you doing up there? I don't know. Being a good boy. Starting to huff and puff at my finger now. Yeah, if you're new and you haven't seen the series with this guy, go onto the channel, go into the playlists, and it's the playlist that has the little blood droplet in front of it, where as soon as we got this guy, I recorded every handling session, just showing how to calm him down and work him through that fear and stuff like that. This guy was a friggin' holy terror, musking and biting some more, but he's done really good. So yeah, if you're new, that's a really good series to check out. Oh yeah, she'll be good. She, like I said, she just had her other one done not too long ago. But come on, no, you're not going over there. Oh, but yeah, for the Patreon folks that are going to be in the Zoom call, please be kind tonight because I've got to get up very early and we got a 3-hour drive first thing in the morning. So I am not going to be on there for 3 hours tonight. We'll be on for a little while, but I am not doing a 3-hour call. I cannot. Matter of fact, I'm probably pretty stupid for drinking coffee, but I know I got up early enough today and then had to work, so I don't think the coffee is really going to keep me up. But let's see what I'm missing here. Yeah, the Super Dwarf retics are really easy. I mean, they're like really great to work with. You want to see a lot of cool stuff on Super Dwarfs, check out the Curly Haired Keeper on Instagram. Follow her. She's always posting stuff of her Super Dwarfs. So. When did I do that? Did I single you out at any point when I said I can't be on there for 3 hours tonight? I intentionally didn't say that. Hey, Donna, good to see you. I'm just getting ready to wrap up here in a minute and take a quick break before we get onto the Zoom call. But I'm just going to kind of flip through and make sure I'm not missing a whole lot of comments or anything. Yeah, Abby's on YouTube as well. Well, I haven't seen her put out any YouTube videos in a while. You'll catch her sometimes on Reach Out Reptiles channel. She lives right out there close to them. But yeah, I'll have to look and see if we've got any stuff. I know she posts a lot of stuff on Instagram. Oh yeah, Greg, absolutely. Yeah, when I ever finally get up to see my daughter, you guys won't see me on here, so I can certainly relate. Hey, you're the one that pointed it out. Hey, good to see you, Sam. All right. So yeah, this gives me just enough time to go out there, and I think I might throw a quick snack down my neck before the Zoom call. For any of you guys that may be interested in participating on that, we've got, of course, we've got the Patreon channel. For all the contributing Patreon members, we do a Zoom meetup after the live streams. So we've also got a Discord too. Admittedly, I haven't been very active on the Discord. I got it started, got it set up and so forth. And I'm probably going to expand that out too. It was set up just for the contributing Patreon members. I may go ahead and just open it up for everybody and set up different channels as people start to filter in and stuff. But yeah, for anybody who want, like I said, we don't do any selling. We don't do any breeding or anything like that here. So We do lean pretty heavily on the Patreon. We've got some pretty cool folks on there. So by all means, the links and all the video descriptions on the channel. And then you guys can come and hang out and chat with us after the live stream. Show off animals, questions, share any special knowledge you got about them, stuff like that. It's all pretty fun. Let's see. I've got Niles. I do not have any Asian water monitors or black throats. I did bring in an Asian water monitor at one point. I was going to do some stuff on like monitor socialization, but it was already so socialized that it would have been nothing but I mean, that was the sweetest monitor you've ever seen. So but he was here really briefly, and I went ahead and sent him back over. But let's see. Yes, drink water. We've been hitting more heat records, and it's just going to keep getting worse. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself this summer. August is going to be a pretty killer month, I'm guessing. So. Alrighty, Greg. You guys have a good rest of the weekend and be safe and all that cool stuff. And sure, we'll talk with you guys next week. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump off of here. If you guys aren't already, jump down, get subscribed to the channel and stuff like that. Like I said, we do our best to put out one video a week. And, schedule being what it is, sometimes we can't hit that mark. But I do my best to be on here live every Saturday at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, for the Patreon folks, we go over to the Zoom call. So you guys have an outstanding, safe rest of the weekend. If you're outside doing stuff, like Nicole said, drink water. Take care of yourself. This heat is no joke. It will catch up on you quick. So I'll make sure we don't lose anybody over the summer. Has happened. I've had some hot weather injuries myself over the years, and it'll do a number on you. So, all right, guys. So we will see you next time, and hopefully here in the next 4 or 5 days, we should have the next snake behavior video out. So, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.